Hi, today we're going to talk about your perfect agenda that just doesn't work very perfectly. Imagine you've contracted with the client, you've worked out the details of the agenda, they've agreed, and then suddenly you find it doesn't work. This is so common, and it's really one of the competencies that we speak about in the IAF competencies of really planning space and time accordingly and using processes that will work for the group versus working for you. I know I have the tendency as a facilitator often to be very, very fixated on the perfect agenda that I create, and I want to just keep it. So here's an example. I was working with a client. We thought we had a great agenda. They wanted to do PowerPoint. I wasn't too keen on that, but they said that's the only way to really show their information. So we did that for a couple of meetings, and sure enough, the group, some of them over-participated and some of them under-participated. So here was a relatively safe way of sharing information, the way most people do it, PowerPoint, ask questions. So we had to ask ourselves, so what's the problem here? People are over-participating. Some were asking a lot of questions and others had just gone quiet. So that's not going to work. So we needed to think about, well, what are the possible solutions we could come up with? And as I said, this is a very simple three-part process to think about. Define the problem and then consider the solutions. In our case, we maybe could have asked, well, what are all the ways we could absolutely put everyone to sleep by PowerPoint or put everyone to sleep with this information? And then by reversing the question, we come up with an even better solution. We say, how could we bring the information to, rather than giving it to the participants, have them come to the information? And so we mapped out the details of this great idea, step number 3, where we had them visit stations around the room, and each time they visited the station, they could spend as much time as they wanted. They got to talk to the experts. They got to ask the questions they wanted to ask. We still had them digest and hear all the information that was shared in the PowerPoint. But this way, people got to get the information in the way they wanted it. And it turned out to be a perfect solution. We had people participate that had never participated in a meeting before. So that's one story about those 3 steps. Define your problem, consider the solutions, very, very easy 3-step part, and then map out the details. And you'll be pleased to know we have 2 other stories to illustrate absolute disasters where we had to abandon the agenda or completely get behind in our agenda and still achieve the best possible results for the clients. Have fun reading the blog.